Hello everyone, you're welcome back to my garden and you're welcome to the Irish Mammy channel. My name's Katrina if you haven't been here before, and today we're going to do a little bit of strawberry bed maintenance. So this is one of my strawberry beds here. I do have two. Mostly I'm going to be showing you how to prune back your strawberries and just maintain them over the winter. And mostly I'll be showing you on this bed. So as you can see, the strawberries have got quite dilapidated looking over the winter. A lot of foliage die back. In some climates these would die back completely, but here, because we're pretty mild, it just dies back ever so slightly. So we're in February now, mid-February, so this is the time, the ideal time really, to just start doing a little bit of tidy up on your strawberries. So my method of tidying up my strawberries might be a little bit unconventional and it might seem a little bit drastic, but I've done it now for several years and it has worked really, really well for me. So I'll bring you along now and I'll show you exactly what I do. I roughly have 12 to 15 strawberry plants in here, but you can't tell the difference in them at the minute, where one starts and another ends really, till you start digging through. So this, for example, has turned into a huge big clump of strawberries. Now I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to trim this up. So I just go down to the very bottom of the plant. I try and gather up all the growth that's coming out from around it. Oh, and we need gloves for this because there's nettles stuck in the middle of it. Just got a handful of nettles there, that's lovely. So, just so you can see, there's a nettle plant stuck right in the middle, disguised extremely well in among the strawberry plants. Okay, let's get to this job. Now, so just making sure I'm gathering all that's growing out from that particular plant. And then all I'm going to do is chop everything back. Now I've probably lifted that root out of the ground a little bit, but it won't matter. There's the rest of that nettle. Now I've just planned to pull this off. I hope you can see that there. This is an offshoot from the same plant, but you can see that's a runner. So I'm actually going to snip that off and stick that in a wee pot, and I will have a new strawberry plant. So at this time of year, the strawberries, any runners that were on the plants, will have already started to root. So it's very easy to just snip them off and stick them in a pot and let them to grow on. I will probably plant these out in a new bed come March, April time, and they will be year one plants which won't produce very much in terms of fruit, but next year they'll produce a good crop of fruit. And you're as well with strawberries have 3 different rotations if you can, so a group of plants in year 1, a group of plants in year 2, and a group of plants in year 3. And year 2 and 3 will be your best productive years from your plants. Now, I think I may have already said these strawberries are actually going into their 4th year, so I should have taken cuttings from them last year and didn't get round to it. I'm going to take them now. I do still have one other strawberry bed. The new plants that I'm taking now, any little cuttings that I get today will go into a 3rd bed. So hopefully we'll have a good rotation of strawberries over the next few years. And the plan is after year 3 you should take them out. Now, like I said, this one should have came out, but because I hadn't taken the runners off it yet, I decided to leave it 1 more year. And who knows, maybe I get enough runners off it now to be able to take it out this year. And I probably will take it out straight after I get my crop of strawberries in mid to late June from it. So now I'm just going to go through this bed now and cut back every plant in it, and you'll see what it's like when it's finished. So you can see that's a quite dramatic difference in the before and after. Don't be afraid to cut them all the way back. You can see actually where there is new growth coming out from all these crowns already. So as long as you have a little bit of growth pushing out, and don't cut them way back, like don't absolutely skin them, leave some tiny little bits of leaves on them, your plants will survive pretty well. And I realised after I was saying I thought there was 12 to 15 plants in this, and there must be 18 plants in it, if not more. A lot of the runners had actually gone off around the very edges. They hadn't climbed over the edge of them. They hadn't climbed over the edge of the bed at all. They had just went to the very edge and rooted in. So I've got loads of little roots. So I have a little bundle there. There must be 10 or 12 little bits of roots in there, all for potting up. And then I have the same over on that side there too. So we'll have a nice little collection of strawberry plants if they all take root. Now the next job for this bed is to give it a good feed. Now your options are a high potash feed, which you can buy in a store, or I tend to use, we have a wood burning stove which we only burn wood in, so you couldn't use it if you were burning coal or turf or any kind of peat of any nature, briquettes or anything like that. You could not use it, or I wouldn't advise using it for your plants. But because we burn wood only, I can use the ash from the wood burning stove and use it to feed my strawberries. And indeed that's a good feed for any fruiting plants, so tomatoes, strawberries, and even actually rhubarb I think does well with some of it as well. So I'm just going to go and get my bucket of ashes and top dress the bed with that. I'm also going to water that in so that it doesn't get blown away in the wind. Okay, so I hope that was a helpful video for you. This would be the same process for any strawberries that you would have in hanging baskets or pots. Just cut them away back and give them a good feed. And at this time of year, high potash feed would be good, or even something like blood, fish and bone would be good at this stage of the year. But later on you want to be giving it more high potash, something like tomato feed or something like that. At this time I could as well put straw in around the plants. I'm just not ready to do that yet. I want to be sure that all my plants have survived, and second of all, I'm still considering actually pulling these out, depending on whether my new plants root up or not. So I just wanted to share a wee tip with you when I am planting out these strawberry runners. So I'm not sure if you can see, there's a little green point in there. So this is what you call the crown of the strawberry plant, where all the stems come out of. You want to try and keep that crown of the plant just ever so slightly above the level of the soil. The strawberry can rot quite easily if water were to lie in that. So if that were buried in underneath the soil, it would get quite wet and waterlogged and potentially rot. So to avoid that, we're going to bury it we're going to keep it ever so slightly above the soil level. So as I'm tucking in the soil there, I'm actually pushing it down as well. So that leaves the crown just sticking up ever so slightly. And just lift that sideways, maybe you get a better view of it. The crown is up ever so slightly above the level of the soil, and that's the same. I've done that with all of the cuttings that I'm after putting in there. So that was a good afternoon's work. As usual, it's starting to get dark on me, so I'm not actually going to get to my second strawberry bed. Quite happy with my little haul there. I've got 4, 3, 6, 7, 28 and 6, 34. I have 34 strawberry plants, potential strawberry plants there. So 12 or 15 will probably be plenty for myself if I do a new bed of strawberries, and then I'll have a few extra to give away. I'm probably going to get a few runners off the other bed as well when I'm doing it. They are a different variety. I wanted to add as well that these strawberries are going to be stored outside. Because they're already used to growing in the outdoors temperatures, I will be keeping them outside, and that'll keep them good and hardy. It'll save hardening them off then in a few weeks' time. And also it'll stop them from pushing out too much new growth very quickly, which I don't want them to do, because if they get the little bit of extra heat here in the greenhouse, they will start to grow very fast, which I don't want. Now I'm fairly laughing at myself. I thought I had the label with the variety name of the strawberry. This was buried in the bed outside that I took these cuttings from, and I turned it around and I see it just says, you can see that closely enough there, it just says Frugeria, which I'm nearly pretty sure is just the botanical name for strawberry. So none the wiser as to what the variety of this strawberry is, but basically I can say it's a generic strawberry that you get in any garden centre. But I know they definitely are a different variety to the ones I have out in my other bed in the field. So these produce a lot of strawberries. These produce strawberries over a long time, so they're not they're obviously not a June bearing strawberry. A June bearing strawberry is one that bears the most of its fruit within 2 to 3, maybe 4 weeks maximum, whereas an ever bearing strawberry is one that will produce strawberries over maybe 7-8 weeks, or a good bit of the summer, which I think this variety is an ever-bearing one. Now there are advantages and disadvantages to both. An ever-bearing one is good for fresh eating of strawberries. You'll have a fairly steady supply of strawberries for 6 to 8 weeks. Whereas a June-bearing strawberry is good if you wanted to make jam, for example. You'd have a good glut of strawberries within a week or two, where you could make a good batch of jam with those. So depending on the use you have for strawberries, it's something you should take into consideration when you're buying a strawberry. Some strawberries are labelled as to whether they're ever-bearing or June-bearing, and some are not. You really just have to ask in the garden centre where you're buying them from if they're not. Otherwise you can of course grow from seed, which is another option. And actually I never realised how easily strawberries grow from seed until actually I was clearing out one of the beds. The bed behind this bed of strawberries outside, I was clearing it earlier in the year, and I found strawberry plants in it. Very young strawberry plants, but I've realised that it came from when the kids were picking up the strawberries during the summer and just throwing the little bits of the core of the strawberries in on the bed behind them, of course, and they took root. So that'll just show you how easy it is to grow strawberries from seed, if that was something you wanted to do. And then of course when you're picking your own varieties to grow from seed, you'll have a wider variety for a start, and you'll be able to choose whether you sow ever-bearing or June-bearing strawberries, depending on the use you have for them. I hope you found the video useful today, and I hope somebody learned something from it. Like I said, I will be going around these strawberries with straw. I actually have straw at the minute, which is a rare commodity for me. I was very lucky that my sister was able to get me a bale of straw. I also have a little bit left over from my Future Forests order, so definitely be making use of the straw which was used in the packing of the Future Forests order. So I'm straw rich this year. So I'll definitely be using straw. And for those who don't know, using a dressing of straw around my strawberry plants will help keep the strawberries fresh. Sometimes the strawberries, the weight of them carries them down, that they're lying on the soil, and they start to rot and wilt very quickly, and they can get fungal diseases very easily from the soil. So especially in our damp climate, it's a great idea to put straw on them. Like I say, I'm not ready to put the straw on them yet. One reason for not putting straw on them yet is because the slugs absolutely love it. They'll be hanging out underneath it and then possibly nibbling on my quite delicate strawberry plants at the minute after being cut back. So I want to leave them a while, let them get a little bit more established, and then I'll put the straw down. Hopefully then as well the weather will be slightly warmer, so the slugs won't be as attracted to the straw as well, so maybe protect my plants a little bit more. So if you like this video, please press the thumbs up button down below. I would really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed already, I would please ask you to. I can see about 50% of the people who are watching my videos are not subscribed. Just to clarify, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe to my videos. You do have to set up a YouTube account if you don't have one already, which, I mean, we set up accounts every day for all sorts of things. YouTube is just another social media platform, so it's no different. Username and password is all you need. They're not going to be asking too many questions. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do sign up and subscribe down below. It really would help. I think I have 481 subscribers at the minute. I'd love to see that over the 500. Of course, my goal is 1,000 to monetize my channel, but I'd settle for 500 at the minute. So I really would ask you to subscribe. Lots of content coming up here in the spring and summer for anyone interested in becoming a little bit more self-sufficient and learning how to grow their own vegetables and fruit as well, of course. I will be doing a little bit of ornamental planting in there as well. Just a little bit of everything, I suppose, but mainly focused on the garden. Might get back into the kitchen again in the summer just to show how to use some of the produce, because I know when I started growing myself first, I was all gung-ho for growing vegetables and then at times didn't know what to do with them. So I might get into the kitchen in the summertime as well and get a few videos done in there. So like the video if you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.